Well, my name is Dina Padilla, and I'm the insurance commissioner candidate for the Peace and Freedom Party. And my reasoning for coming here was to oppose the budget for the Fraud Assessment Commission. And I oppose the one in LA because of the Downey Studios Kaiser complex built on a brownfield Superfund toxic site for Joe Dow, who was injured at Lowe's and showed proof of forgeries, and nobody's done anything. San Mateo County, that for Lowe's, the district attorney has been sitting on this called preponderance of evidence that says that they committed forgery. And then also for the Kaiser workers down in LA area and also here in Sacramento, and then in Yolo County and Sacramento County for David Bell on AgriQuest, because the district attorneys are not doing anything for his case either. And I gave them leaflets, information about a judge in his case who is connected to the Laughlin, Falbo, Levy, and Marisi law firm that represents Liberty Mutual, which was the insurance carrier in this case on David Bell. And that Marisi is also, I think he's still on the Worker Comp Appeals Board panel member. So I'm not sure of that, but we have to check into it. But he was on the board that I know of, and he needs to be off. The judge needs to be taken. She needs to be, to me, she doesn't need to be involved in workers' comp anymore because it's a huge conflict of interest, probably among other criminal activities that's going on.
Why aren't there any labor representatives on the Fraud Assessment Commission, which does oversight on workers' comp fraud?
Well, you know, we presented that information that we need we need a totally impartial group on the board, and that includes injured workers, advocates, and it's my understanding that it's written in the legislation that way, and they haven't done that. I've been coming here for 5 years, and that's what we need. That's what I asked for, and they didn't really respond to that. But we do need people that truly do represent the injured workers and workers that work, in fact, in the field, that work in the trenches. I would say that the systemic corruption would go from A to Z and 1 to however what the last number is in the universe. That's how much fraud and corruption there is. We've brought that for the last 5 years, and nobody seems to be interested, whether it's the Fraud Assessment Commission, whether it's the district attorney's office, whether it's the PIs for the district attorney, the insurance commissioner, to the attorney general, and even as far as the federal attorney general, that they've been sent information and they're sending it back. They're not recognizing what we bring to them. Even as citizens, we have a right to bring issues of fraud or any other crime that's being committed, and they're not listening to us. They're listening to the insurance companies, and they're listening to the employers, because that's who funds them. I mean, if they ask for $29 million, it's coming from employers and insurance companies, and employers are self-insured. So, of course, there's this huge list. There's 3,000 self-insured employers in the state of California. I'm not exactly sure how many are contributing money to this Fraud Assessment Commission, but I can be guaranteed that's quite a few.
And where is David Jones, the Democratic candidate for insurance commissioner? Has he made a statement on the Fraud Assessment Commission and corruption in the insurance industry?
Well, I just looked at his website several days ago. I didn't see that, but today I think I would call it he's missing in action, because if he wants to be representative for a Department of Insurance commissioner, he should be here and understand and see what is really, really going on, and when people provide testimony for fraud in the insurance industry or with employers.
And is he aware of these issues?
I would think he should be. He claims to be running for insurance commissioner. He should be informed. I would say he would be informed. But again, he's not here. So does he care? That's another question,
Now, he believes that the insurance industry should be reformed. We should have better insurance companies. What are your views on the insurance industry and health care for workers?
How can the insurance companies be reformed when they are running themselves? They're just like the fox watching the chicken coop. You can't have, it's like saying, okay, I'm going to hide all my crimes. I'm going to hide all my criminal acts, and they're watching themselves. Are they going to sit there and tell somebody, to the district attorney, oh, you know what, we committed this fraud, or we denied a claim, or we're not going to give this person medical care? Or are they going to sit there and tell on themselves? There's no way in the world. So no, he can't help. The only way they can go in is from the inside and sit there and have regulation. If we don't have regulation, we don't have accountability. If we don't have accountability, the insurance companies keep getting away with literally denying claims, denying care, and not really giving a damn about employees or workers.
District Attorney Kitchens in Sacramento County, Lieutenant Strosky, who's in charge of workers' comp fraud in Yolo County, neither of them were here. Were there any reason that they weren't here at this hearing today in Sacramento?
Well, I would think they would be totally embarrassed. If I was them, and bringing with all the information that's been brought to them on the fraud just in the David Bell's case with AgriQuest, okay, or with the Kaiser situation, or with Safeway, they're too embarrassed to come here. I mean, but they're going to get money. Be guaranteed they'll get X amount of money from that $29 million. But they would be embarrassed. They're too embarrassed. They've not shown up before because of embarrassment.
Now, in Downey, you informed the commission that there's problems with the Downey toxic dump site, that Stuart Lichter, who owns it, hasn't cleaned it up properly. The workers are getting sick there. What has been the response?
There's been no response. We haven't had anybody come to us. I mean, we've got plenty of information. Article written in the LA Times by Richard Verrier. Nobody has come to him and asked him about it. I mean, we've got people that are sick not just with the Downey Studios and the Kaiser Medical Complex, but also in all the other areas that are around there. But nobody's come to us. Nobody's come and said, what can we do to make it better for these injured workers to get medical care or their claims taken care of?
If you're elected as insurance commissioner in California, are you going to clean house?
I'm going to get the biggest broom that can possibly be ever made and clean house. A mop, a bucket, whatever it takes to clean house. Be guaranteed of that. I would clean house.
Now, some of these investigators from the Department of Insurance run by Steve Posner told you and other injured workers that they don't prosecute insurance companies. Is that the case?
That's the case. That was back in about the year 2007. We went to 2 insurance criminal investigators. This was after meeting with a supervisor, district attorney, and they said we had to have reasonable doubt. Well, we gave them probable cause, which is what they go after the injured workers with. But they told me that they don't go after insurance companies. And how can you go after an injured worker but not an insurance company or a self-insured employer or an employer who gets discounted premiums? That's not equitable. That's not fair. As a matter of fact, that's criminal.
Have they provided any list of insurance companies they've gone after for prosecution of workers' comp fraud to you?
Well, the list that I've seen in the last 5 years, no, I haven't seen. I've seen individuals, but no insurance carriers.
Why is that?
Well, they're the ones that pay the tab to run this commission, so they're not going to bite the hand that feeds them.
And what's your website?
My website is Padilla for insurancecommissioner.com. PADILLA 4 insurancecommissioner.com.